Alright, so what I have here is probably my coolest purchase to date. This is a 1986 Kawasaki kx500, and it's actually in kind of decent shape. The only thing I noticed is a pretty big puddle of ATF underneath it after leaving it here overnight, but I can worry about that later because it still should run and drive. So let's get this thing out in the light, that way you guys can see it better and I can explain it a little bit more. I think it's a pretty cool bike, and for what I want to do with it, it should be perfect because it's not too nice, it's also not too, clapped out. Okay, so this bike, as you can tell, is not terrible. The stainless Allen hardware on it did a couple other things. I know it's not, one side of the radiator isn't original. Some weird things up with it. The main thing I noticed is the shock linkage is blown out. He told me that he had rebuilt it to lower it because he was short just like me, and he screwed it up a little bit. And I also noticed that there's a bolt missing down there. Nice rims still. And it's got the Dynaport pipe on it, which would have been for a different kx500 model year because that mount does not line up. At least that's what he told me. Neither does that one. Needs a new muffler. Rear tire is okay. Alright, well that's enough of that. I'm sure you guys actually want to see this thing run. So it's been sitting overnight. I was able to start it up on the second or third kick after I brought it home from running it. So we'll set my camera up and we'll see what happens. One thing that is kind of cool is because he lowered it, it's not overly tall. Most bikes, my feet would hardly touch the ground. This one's pretty good, and it's also not super heavy. Still heavier than most of the 250s I ride, but has a custom built kicker, because apparently he was breaking kickers, which makes no sense to me, but whatever. So not too much else needs said about this bike. If you have any other questions, you're more than welcome to comment. Maybe I can answer them. I know the bikes are kind of rare. But yeah, the brakes work. I should do a quick nut and bolt check. That way I don't die. And yeah, I'm going to throw my helmet on and let's ride this puppy. Okay, so this is my speedometer app, if you guys can see that. And I can very easily hit record, and it records my trip. So I've been doing that for years with all my bikes. Just makes it easy. Wow, first kick again. A little bit of an exhaust leak. In that run, I went 4 miles, my God. So in that run, my top speed was 78 miles an hour. So this silencer has a bunch of oil leaking out from it. I'm wondering if just from all the years, the bottom of the expansion chamber or this muffler just has oil sitting in it and it's getting everywhere, or if it's actually leaking oil. You can see right down here on the stones, after I parked it for just a little bit, there's stuff on the ground. That's ATF, so that drain plug right there, which has RTV all over it, is leaking. The guy I bought it from, and he said he'd RTV a lot of stuff because they come loose. So that drain plug is either RTV'd because it keeps coming loose, or because the threads are stripped and he had to RTV it just to get it to stay in. So either way, it's a problem. So after I've ridden this thing for a little while, I'm not sure if this is a bike I want to ride all the time. It's fun, it's cool, it's good looking, but it kind of just seems more of a party trick than a bike that I'd actually want to ride all the time. The brakes aren't the greatest, I'm sure I could fix that. And there's just some, weird things about it, just with it being older, that I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't want to risk doing something sketchy and having a problem when I could be on a more modern bike and not give me that problem. Kind of sound like a wuss, but that's okay. I think the bike's very cool. I paid $3,700 for it. It was the cheapest one that was running that I could find. I was kind of actively looking, but I saw it pop up, went and got it within an hour. So yeah, that will do it for this video. If this video does well, I will post more about this bike. But that is all for now. Thank you guys for watching.